Community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phone. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon and welcome back. Today is Wednesday, 7th day of February, 2018. Hope you're having a great Wednesday, hump day as some of them call it, because once you get past 12 noon in your time zone, wherever that might be, you have less hours to work than you have already worked this week. Of course, that's, unless you own your own business, then there is no clocking in and clocking out. It's just a continuous revolving door. And while some see that as the American dream, if you give up the cubicle and the gold watch, and you do decide to go into business for yourself and be an entrepreneur, being fueled by things like Shark Tank, I think every single person should, at some point in their life, preferably when you're younger, okay, you should attempt to run your own business. Maybe you have a few jobs, you work for a few different people, and then you start your own business where you have bills to pay, cash flow to manage, employees that not only have to be paid on Friday, but you have to match a certain percentage of their taxes and all these other things. Now, this business may ultimately fail. Phone, click it, follow the instructions. You'll be registered through the end of the month. What this means is you'll get one-click access to the show, the charts, the chat box, everything, all the way through the end of February. Then March 1st, you just register again. You can cut through all that if you want and go straight to youtube.com/CFRN/live, L-I-V-E. Now, typically, or normally when you go to YouTube, it's just youtube.com/CFRN. But during the live broadcast, we are streaming live, creating the videos you see on the other page, and you can catch the show live. We stream live on YouTube. We're now considered a partner. They sent us an email filled with bananas. I mean, that's bananas. Okay, all right. What else, Mike? What else? Oh, the numbers. Let me give them the numbers, and then we'll get your recap. Okay. Trump announced that the stock market has made a huge mistake by selling off on good news. That's a man who's been around the markets all his life, but has never really been. And it's all yours, and I'll be here one way or the other when you're done.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That sounds good. Here we go. All right, I'm going to slide this over. All right. And I'll go kind of slow. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 7th day of February, 2018. If you have not taken a free trial with us, here, let me bump that out. Okay, if you have not taken a free trial with us, you simply need to go to the home page at cfrn.net. Sorry, I have cat fur in my beard. So go to the home page at cfrn.net. And at the top, this is going to drop down right here where it says sign up for the CFRN live training room. 100% free trials, user indicators, learn our strategy. Click here. When you click there, you will be brought to this page right here. On this page, all I ask for is your email, your first name, and how you found us. Then hit that submit button. Once you hit the submit button, you will be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay. If you do not click on the confirmation link, you will not get a free trial. All right. Now, the spreadsheet. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. As I said, today is the 7th day of February, 2018. Today we made 50 ticks on the euro, 24 ticks in crude, and 3 ticks in gold. That put us at 582.50. 582.50 on the day. Okay. Today it took 58 minutes and 4 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point we were up at 107.50. Now we took a total of 11 trade opportunities today. So on the month now we're at 1487.50. That's over 4 days, averaging 371 per day. Okay. On the year now we're at $4,006. That's over 23 days, averaging 174 per day. 174 per day. Okay. Now let's go through what happened, or what we were able to take advantage of. Alright, this is gold. Now, gold started out in here. We missed a couple here. We were, I think, 1 or 2 minutes late this morning. It's been a rough week for me. But anyway, started out right here. There was enough to make the goal for the day there. Then the follow-up, enough to make the goal for the day there. And I missed both of those. Then over here, we had a shorting opportunity. We took right there. It almost stopped us out. It did go up to the point where it hit our stop, but we don't have a stop market. We have a stop limit, and it didn't trade through it. Then we ended up taking 3 ticks profit on it. Okay. I know some of the people did get stopped out on that. I was not one of them. All right, so then there was a long trade here and a long trade here, both of which I missed. Then during the break, there was a bounce off the BBC right here. Now, this is a perfect example of the trade setup, okay? Step 1 is the MA1 crosses below the BBC. Step 2, price pulls away from the BBC. Step 3, it pulls back up and touches it. And step 4, down here in the slingshot, for a short trade, the cycle is going to be red and below the green line. What you anticipate is that this green line is going to get down into the cycle, and when it does, you'll get a lower swing. Okay, so bang, 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 all those steps. Okay, during the break, there was also another shorting opportunity right there, and right there, and right there, and one more right here. Okay, and that was it for the gold. So we had a nice downtrend here during the break. Great opportunity for everybody who was still trading. All right, the euro. Let's see. The euro started out with a long opportunity right in here that I missed. Then a short opportunity right here that I missed. And then it got really choppy. And another short opportunity there that I missed. Then I finally got one here. I got 6 ticks profit on that. Then on this one, I got 34 ticks profit, bringing me to plus 40. Okay, there was a long opportunity here that I missed. I did get this one, and on the exit, it slipped me 1 tick. So that put me back down to 39. All right, I missed that. And then I got 11 on this to put me at plus 50 on the morning. Let's see, during the break, we had to break this dynamic support before we go short again. So there really wasn't anything during the break here, okay, on the euro. And crude. Okay, let's back crude out. We had crude inventories come out today. And I really thought crude was going to stop way up here at 62.70 in this area. I thought it was going to stop going down up there after the inventories came out, but it just kept going and going and going. It was like that little bunny. Anyway, on crude, the first one right here, we got 1 tick. This one right here, we got 3. I missed that. Then, let's see. The inventories came out in here, so we weren't doing anything. We had a long trade right here that I missed. Actually, we had a short right in here that I missed. That was really nice. A long here that I missed. Then a short here that I got. Let me go back and look at this. Yeah, okay. The short here that I got, I took 10 ticks profit on, put me at plus 14. Then we had another 10 tick win right here. That put me at plus 24. One in here that I missed. One in here that I missed. And then we had a break even there. Now, during the break, let's see. Yeah, there were some nice trades there during the break. Right here was a long opportunity. Right here was a long opportunity. Right here was a long opportunity. All during the break. And right here was a bounce off the BBC for the short during the break. Okay, so there were some nice opportunities during the break on the crude. On the ES, we took 1 ES trade this morning. We had a break even on it right there. But the ES was volatile again. So, you know, I had my ES DOM open again this morning. Not that we did much with it. But, yeah, let it load up. Here we go. All right. So the ES started out in here with a bounce off the BBC for that big leg up. Then I'm just looking at the slingshot down here in this cycle and where it is and what direction it's going. Then we had a long opportunity right in here for that leg up. Okay, we had a short off the BBC right in here for that leg down. And we had a long right in there that I highlighted for that leg up. We had a short in here. This actually took and got a break even on. Just looking at the slingshot to see what we had. It looks like there was a short right in here that pulled back and then came back to break even right there. And that was during the break. A bounce off the BBC right here during the break. And a long trade right there during the break. And a bounce off the BBC right here during the break. And that was it on the ES. So there was plenty of opportunity there. I'm just not used to trading the ES. Yeah, mine are starting to too, Bob. I got a doctor's appointment. Because this morning I woke up and I was watching TV for a little while, watching the weather, and my eyes were just watering the whole time. I don't know why. It's weird. And everything was blurry. All right. Anyway, enough complaining. So, on the spreadsheet, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. As I said, today was the 7th day of February, and we made 50 ticks on the euro, 24 ticks on crude, and 3 ticks on gold. Get us to 582.50, 582.5. Today it took 58 minutes and 4 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're at 107.5, and we took a total of 11 trades. On the month now, 1487.50. That's over 4 days, averaging 371 per day so far. On the year now, 4,006. That's over 23 days, averaging 174 per day. I have chicken. All right, if you have not taken the free trial, go to the home page here where it says sign up for the CFRN live training room. 100% free trial. User indicators on our strategy. Click here. Just click there and you'll be brought to this page where we ask for your email, your first name, and how you found us. Hit the submit button and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay? If you don't click the confirmation link, we don't know that you took the trial. All right? You got to click on that confirmation link. All right? All right. That said, I don't know if Dwayne's ready yet. But we are ready to pass it back out to Studio A, fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city.
I am
yes.
ready.
Okay.
So
right, then we can pass it back to you.
You know, you hear a lot these days about meditation, not the old kind of meditation like the transcendental, or where you're trying to clear your mind, which you can never do, or focus only on the candle, which you also could never do. Today it's called just being mindful. To just take a few minutes and sit by the side of the road and watch the cars go by. Except you're sitting by the side of your mind and just watching the traffic go by. You're not judging the traffic. Oh, that's a red car. Oh, why am I having a yellow car? You know, you just watch the traffic. You don't try to sort it. You don't try to analyze it. You don't scold yourself if something bad bubbles up. And you don't become Fred Astaire if something good bubbles up. You just are an observer. And that's all. And you're like, well, okay, is this going somewhere? Yeah, it leads to tomorrow, where you'll do another 5 minutes, and then next week where you'll try to go 10. And people from all walks of life have come back with some pretty positive results. I mean, that's why it's everywhere you look. People, you know, there's an article here, an article there. If you go to Huffington Post, every other article is clickbait for some kind of mindfulness thing. You don't need a guru, you don't need a course, you don't need incense, you don't need a tapestry on the wall, you don't need a loom swishing in the background. And David Carradine does not have to be your roommate. I have a friend, Dan Stanato, who was a Hollywood stuntman for many years, and he once roomed with David Carradine. Do you know who David Carradine is?
Wasn't he from the Partridge Family or something like that?
Well, yeah, almost. Kung Fu. Wow! Remember Kung Fu? Humble man, brown hat, barefoot, walking. No? Were you 12? Oh God. I can't believe you don't remember Kung Fu. It was iconic. It was like the cornerstone of my childhood. Oh my.
Kung Fu.
That was the name of the show. No, we didn't like that at all. We were not.
I remember the commercial. I'm not the commercial, but the cartoon. Hong Kong.
Yeah, no, that was a different Kung Fu. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, he's the guy who said, grasshopper. Remember the old guy at the place where they live, not a temple, but a monastery maybe, and his eyes were like white. He was blinded, but yet he could see right through you. And he would say, "When you can take the pebbles from my hands, it will be time for you to go." And the young boy Kung Fu would try to snatch them pebbles out of his hands, and then one day, to both of their surprise, he got the pebbles out of the master's hand. And so he had to strike out on a journey. And so each episode, it followed the formula really of Then Came Bronson. Now how Bronson, would be just like, he'd be traveling, and then all of a sudden he would hit some town, and there'd be a problem, could be domestic violence, could be fraud. It didn't matter, because he was a man on a motorcycle with a mission, and the mission was to go from town to town to town and help whatever family needed help that week. I mean, I found it uncanny how he would show up in these towns just as these people were needing this help. It was bananas, all right? But Kung Fu followed the same formula in that he was barefoot walking on a dirt road, but every week he would stumble across some settlers, some people, a family that needed the kind of help that only he could offer, because he knew Kung Fu. That wasn't his name on the show. Master Po, the Shoden Temple. Good job, Jim. Kwai Chang Kang. That's what I was trying to remember. That was his name on the show. But anyway, as we circle back around the mountain, the reason I even brought it up was because my friend Dan was Kwai Chang Kang's roommate in real life in LA when they were both trying to make it in Hollywood. One did, one was a stuntman. So they would sit around, as people would do back in the day, and they would use this thing called a bong. I'm sure many of you are not familiar with that terminology, and don't worry yourself. You could Google it, but you don't have to. It is a device that some people will use to smoke the hooch, the grass, the weed, the devil's joint. Now, Danny and Kung Fu would sit there in the living room, cross-legged. Always have to sit cross-legged when you're around Kwai Chang Kang. And they would smoke this bong, and then something would come over Kwai Chang, and Danny says he would start flying around the apartment, kicking and punching, and because he actually had to learn how to do all those moves, because you couldn't use a stunt double because he was just too active. He was always chopping men up and chopping men down. So yeah, that's a true story. I mean, isn't that, could you just, no, because you didn't grow up with him. He wasn't your childhood hero.
No.
He was not the guy that gave you the courage when they desegregated the schools and you and two other Caucasian boys were shipped across town to RL Norris Junior High School, where everybody except you and those other two Caucasian gentlemen were, in fact, people of color. And we didn't have immigrants back there. So by color of people, you know what I mean, people of color. It was really uncomfortable. They beat us up every day. Kung Fu was the most popular show on TV. And so not only was David Carradine smoking pot and flying through the air, kicking stuff at Dan's apartment, at R.L. Norris Junior High School, there were young men much larger than me, and they would fly around and kick lockers and sometimes kick us in the head, and it was really brutal. So when people talk about racism and desegregation, I said, don't tell me. I know, okay? I wasn't on the front lines at Selma, but I sure was at R.L. Norris Junior High School. And it was what I took from Kung Fu, the lesson that enabled me to get through another week. Plus I started karate classes, and that was pretty good as long as I stayed focused. So I said all of that to lead up to his other roommate, which was either right before or right after Kung Fu. I can't think of her name. She, in the 80s, she was iconic. She was like one of the most beautiful women on TV. And she was very young, in her 20s, blonde. Gosh, what was her name? Anyway, his story on her was she was lovely to look at, but not so lovely to hold. She had like a skin thing. You couldn't see it, but if you touched her skin, it felt like alligator. It was weird. She's still around today, still very popular, still acting. Dan, not so much. But, did I ever get to beat their... no, Joan, I didn't. There was too many of them. Too many other people that, you know... Anyway, I don't know why in the world I went off on all that, but I'll shut up now. All right, let's look at the numbers real quick, guys. Michael, recap of the recap.
Today it took 58 minutes and 4 trades to get to 107.50.
Good job, my friend.
Thank you.
Well played.
Yes, indeed.
Right. Here's what's going on in world markets. We'll start in the U.S. These are cash markets, not the futures. The Dow is currently up 274 points, a little over 1%. NASDAQ is up 17 points. And the S&P 500 is up 20 points, 0.75%. Russell 2000 up 6.5 points, almost 0.5%. We had crude inventories today, and crude has dropped $1.54. That's 2.5%. And we traded 61.83 last. What was the high of the week, Mike? Let me get the charts out of your way.
Yeah, I still have the charts. I was just going to tell you, I still have the charts.
Let me, or if you maybe at a glance could tell me, what was the high of the week on crude?
Hang on. Of the week.
Oh,
of the week. The high was, it looks like it was 66.27 or 28.
I never turned my trading platform back on.
Okay.
It should only take a second, you know, to open it up. I was just trying to clear out the memory clog that I had going on. So just give me a second, guys, and I'll get it running. I can go through the rest of the numbers, though. All right, so in the U.S., okay, crude, I wanted to point out, I think we got, what was the high on crude on your chart? What
actually, you know what? February 6th, 5th. I'm looking back.
This week.
This week.
Yeah, since Sunday night.
It looks like 65.42.
65.42. Okay.
Or 65.40, right in that area. 65.40.
We had a zone at 65.25/65.30. And what's the last print you show on crude futures?
The last print or the low?
Current price.
61.70. 61.70.
Okay, and we have our lowest weekly zone for crude is 61.75/61.80. So this is possibly a turnaround point, guys.
Yeah, I expect it'll get back up to 63.50, right in that area. And the reason I say that is because that's where it was before the API numbers came out. And it almost always retraces to the area it was at before the API numbers came out.
All right, I'm loading up. Okay, let's go. Okay. Okay, that should log me on. But everything will be all out of whack. If it saved it at all. Now that I think about it. Yes. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Very good. All right. All right, let me just continue. All right, those are the U.S. markets. That's crude. Gold is down $8.80. That's over 0.5%, trading 13.20.70 last. In the Asian markets today, mixed with the Nikkei closing the session up 35 points. Shanghai was down 61 points. That's almost 2%. And the Hang Seng lost 272 points today, almost 1%. Last but not least, Europe, the color of the day there, an emerald green with the FTSE up 138 points at the close. That's 2%. The DAX was up 197 points. That's over 1.5%. And the CAC closed up 94 points on the session, and that's almost 2%. So don't know what happened across the pond in Europe today, but something got them on fire because they sure had a very sturdy performance. Well, I mean, and the American markets are no slouch. Dow up 220, NASDAQ up 3, S&P up 14, Russell 2000 up 6. Yeah, we can live with that. Now, somebody said there's no chart. Maria, do you see a chart now? It should be showing now.
Yeah, when she typed it in, there was...
Gotcha.
You didn't have it.
Now, yesterday, guys, we did the live radio trade. Okay, we said to consider buying the ES at 26.76 on a stop. Target is 2700. Final target 2707. And the stop loss was 25.67. I goofed that up. It might have been 25.71. Doesn't matter because it worked out because we were watching it. It actually did its business. Stop loss 20. Must have been 25. No, it had to be 26.71. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so here's what happened, guys. I mean, we were able to see this during the radio show yesterday. Triggered, ran up at the time 17 points. Now, our initial target, remember we were getting long at 26.76. The swing high, right? Oh, don't be difficult. Things we could do for love. Okay. Man, why won't... Michael, I can't catch your break, brother. I just...
What's going on?
All I want... Oh, it's this thing. Ugh. Okay. Now, the high was 26.99.75. This swing high. So, one tick shy of our goal, which was... Let me scrunch it back down now. 2,700. And we got up to a high of 26.99.75. So, but we did say that the final target was 2707. Now, for anybody that, you know, stuck around, did it ever make it to 2707? Yeah, it did. Okay. Now, that was a trade that we put on utilizing just simply the information available to us right here on a 30-minute chart. Okay. Now, I wrote about this last night, and I think it bears, just part of it bears sharing with you. Let me find my copy of that. And I'll be doing a product demo explanation, thanks to Kurt S, on a hardware wallet. Okay, everybody hopefully has seen the video how to get your digital wallet. You don't have to get a hardware wallet, but I really wish you would. Okay, just simply because it's safer. All right, I'm gonna look one more place and then just couldn't give up. I know it's right here. Let me look on this page. Dagnabbit. Oh, and Joel H., were you able to give him a call, or would you be able to give him a call? Or
I just responded to his email.
okay, very good. All right, I'm looking for important notice part 2. Okay. Now I know this doesn't apply to everybody and whatnot, but I think there's something here that I want you to take away from this, which wasn't that, nor that. Okay. What does that have to do with anything? I spent a lot of time on it, I guess. Anyway, he's our knight. He's sort of like our mascot for Christian traders. Anyway. So I had said Monday was an unusual day, so let's take a look at Tuesday and, get to the truth of it. But this is the truth about trading. Monday there was blood on Wall Street and the streets of every other financial district worldwide. However, we teach no emotions. There are plenty of successful traders who experience every emotion God gave us every single day. Joy, anger, happiness, fear, disgust, surprise. The list goes on. So you've got successful traders. Now we teach no emotions, but yet you've got plenty of successful traders who experience every emotion every day. Here's the caveat. Just not when they are trading. Okay? You've got to, and everybody's going to be able to do it a little differently. Maybe you got to be mindful. I don't know. Maybe you got to do hula hoop for 5 minutes, or jump rope, or throw the I Ching. I don't know. But you've got to take the emotion out of your trade. Michael, in the morning, you guys watch him and listen to him. If he gets stopped out, you don't really know. And if he has a great trade, I mean, he announces the results, but he doesn't fall in love with himself because he had a decent trade. So my point is this. In the live training room in the morning, you have a rules-based system to follow. Okay? No guesswork. You always know what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it. Okay? But when people go live, this emotion thing, if it hasn't already, that's when it will rear its ugly head. And so you have to figure out how you are going to tie your emotions up to a tree out back as you come into the office. All your worries, all your problems, everything will still be waiting for you after you're done trading. But when you're trading, you need a clear mind. All that sucker flashing like a bad boy today, and I don't know which one of these is causing it to happen. Oh well, I'll hurry up. So, it's okay to have emotions, just not when you're trading. In fact, unless you allow each of these emotions to come out and play on occasion, you're headed down a slippery mental slope. It is this patchwork of feelings that keeps us balanced when properly expressed. Don't try to hide from them. You can't run from them. And as for denying them, who would you be fooling? Now, back to what happened with the alerts Monday night. We know Sunday night rocked. But what about Monday night? Well, I sent those out too. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested. The email said to consider buying $25.79 if the opportunity presented itself. It did. The first trigger ran 65 points at $50 per point per contract. Then price tested, which means got below the trigger, and then rallied a second time for 100 points or $5,000 per contract. For a 10 contract trader, the cost to trade 10 S&P contracts is $5,000, plus you got to have a little extra in your account for drawdowns and stop outs. That turns the phrase "consider buying 25.79" if you're a 10 contract trader into a $50,000 trade idea. And it just lay there sleeping in your inbox. However, we do teach you to trail your stop, so when the market takes you out, you will leave a little on the table. It's a cost of doing business. Deal with it. You'll never exit at the swing high or swing low, but you will be able to read the writing on the chart and know when it's time to get out. I teach you that in the mentoring sessions. The Dow, by 24,300 given the chance. First swing ran 341 points. Second swing ran 250 points. Third swing ran 500 points per contract. Now, the third swing had the least amount of risk. How do I know? Well, it's in the chart. The chart will tell you once you know what you're looking for. And that's what I'll teach you. Forget the first swing, forget the second swing. Just focus on the third swing that ran 500 points. 500 times $5 per point equals $2,500 per contract. And so for the 10 contract trader, by 24,300 turned into a $25,000 trade idea for the prepared 10 contract trader. How much does it cost to trade the Dow? $500 per contract. For the 10 contract guy, that's $5,000 risk per trade. However, we always use a hard stop and rarely want to risk more than $300 per trade per contract. So while you put up $500 per contract to trade it, aggressive risk management means if the trade goes south on you because of your hard physical stop, you still expect, in this case, to collect $200 back on every contract you traded. Now, in the live training room, we only risk 8 ticks, all right? One is rules-based, the other's discretionary. Let's do one more. Anything else would be boasting. NASDAQ, consider buying 64.40. If it presents, it did. First swing went 99 points, $20 a point. Second swing ran 150. So looking at just the last swing, 150 points times $20 per point is $3,000 per contract times 10 contracts made that phrase a $30,000 trade idea. Okay. Again, you don't get it all because you're trailing a stop, so you're going to leave some on the table. Now, these numbers here, okay, I sent out an email. One of them turned out to be a $50,000 trade idea. One was a $25,000 trade idea. And the other was a $30,000 trade idea. This is how we get away with charging $49.97 per quarter and $99.97 per year. It's not an expense for a professional trader, it's an investment. Money well spent, I'm told. With the alerts I send and the discretionary methods I teach, the daily goal shifts to a minimum of $300 per contract traded. Quite often that target is exceeded, and I teach you to trail your stop loss until the market takes you out. Always allow the market to take you out. I'll explain why in our mentoring sessions. Okay? So if any of this applies to you and you need more information, whatever it takes, call Michael 949-423-6464. This applies to anyone who is currently a partner, but you're not grandfathered in yet, and you don't receive the Concierge Trade Alerts. So, and if you are that person I just spoke of, a partner who's not getting the alerts, and you know, maybe you didn't get this email, maybe you went to your spam folder or something, just send us an email, support@cfrn.net, and we will get you the information you need so that you can do whatever you want to do. Now, apparently I wrote something else somewhere else last night, because the actual thing that I wanted to cover, I'm trying to think what else I wrote last night. It was in an email that I sent to Praveen. So I can find that really super quick. Now, listen to what I'm saying, because I think it's important. All right. someone had responded and said, I'm interested in, doing the grandfather upgrade. Tell me more about it. And so I said, the Concierge Trade Alerts are a form of discretionary trading. Each day on the radio, I recap all 8 markets and every trigger. Both yesterday and today were exceptional days. Active CFRN partners have unlimited access to one-on-one personal mentoring. This is where you are taught how to best utilize the alerts. While we can be flexible with our stop loss as discretionary traders, our unwritten rule says to never risk more than $300 per contract per trade. If you got to risk more than $300, you could probably just go find another setup, another market, another trigger. Once you learn to read a chart, I'll teach you, the chart will tell you exactly where to place the stop loss. It's much better to get sensitive information from the market itself as opposed to Goldman Sachs or some Yahoo in a chat room. Listen to what the market participants are conveying to you with their actions. Now think about what I just said. Everybody that's trading in the market today, they're speaking to you, not verbally, but their actions, which you see as price on your chart. They're telling you something, okay? Listen to what the market participants are conveying to you with their actions. First comes the idea, then the decision, and at last the action. This flurry of activity casts a shadow in its wake. 400 years ago, the Japanese decided to call this shadow candlesticks. Now, as much as it is an in thing today, traders who believe using simply price action with no indicators puts them on a truly level playing field with Goldman Sachs, the Yahoo, and a 450-year-old ninja needs to back away from the flavor aid. Okay, we've all heard, oh, they drank the Kool-Aid. So I, disclaimed that by saying there was never Kool-Aid. It's like a side note. There was never Kool-Aid at Jonestown. He was too cheap. The poison cup they pressed to their lips that fateful day was the equivalent of government cheese in the high-stakes beverage game of hook 'em on sugar and you got a customer for life. The cheap son of a gun gave them flavor aid. Their last drink on planet Earth, he wouldn't even spring for the Kool-Aid. Flavor aid. Now, trading only the candles is simply elegant, but it does not increase our definable edge. And that's all we have. That's all we have. A definable edge and the ability to think in probabilities. So that's 2 things. If you go to youtube.com/CFRN, you can watch years of video recaps. Every day, usually the last 30 minutes, I walk everyone through every trade setup that has arisen since the alerts were issued. Another integral part of weekly trading zones, when used together, they do increase the definable edge. Okay? So whatever it is that you might be thinking that you need to add, because I know how everybody's always on the hunt. You got the new indicator, the new oscillator, there's this thing, okay? If adding it increases your definable edge, well, then that's awesome. Do a large enough sample size study so that you know you're dealing with truth and not noise. However, many people have things on their chart that does not increase the definable edge. If you have something on your chart that is not increasing your definable edge, get rid of it. I'm not talking if you're a partner or whatever. If you're just somebody who listens to this show and you're doing your best to learn how to trade, take a close look at all the stuff you have on your chart. And if you've read a book and you're trying to chase, Dr. Al Brooks with the, now I'm trading pure price action. Okay. Well, candles are lagging indicators. Now, you can go into one of these forums or chat rooms on the internet. You can argue with people all day long. It's not a lagging indicator. It's real time. No. What came first? The idea. Then the decision. Then the action. And then it shows up on your chart as a candlestick, a shadow of the activity that's already taken place. Now, it's also all we have to work with, so we're going to use it. You can go back a few weeks, a few months over at CFRN on YouTube. If you Google CFRN Weekly Trading Zones, you'll find a number of articles, and under the Images tab, charts with weekly trading zones that go back as far as 2009. A lot has happened to this nation in the past 9 years. We've been rocked to the core. However, the zones keep marching on by the grace of God. So, to any and all of you, everything I just said, if I can be of help to you, if you want to book a mentoring session, if you want to talk by phone, just either book the session or email me with your phone number, the best time to reach you, and I will do that. Okay. Now, Ken, the hardware wallet that we're leaning towards, I got it from Kurt this morning. It's the one I was already looking at, but I had heard they were back ordered until March, and I knew that wasn't going to work out for us. So let me put this link that Kurt was kind enough to send me. Let me put it in the chat box right now, and then I'll show you a picture of what it looks like. And Maria, I will put up a Crude chart here in just a second. Michael, is John in here? I asked him to come early because I got to leave early. Do you see him here? Or did you bail? No, he's on the phone. Okay. Ledger, Nano S, cryptocurrency hardware wallet with Mint Cell, magnetic USB cable, and cable tie. It will hold Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Ripple, XRP, Zcash, and ZEC. All right, let me get John's mic open. Okay, John, here I come. John, welcome to the show. John? He just rang my phone. Okay. Let me bring him back. John, are you there? Okay, it's an awkward part of the show. Okay, Michael P. says there's a problem with the Ledger net. Hey, I just opened your mic, John. Okay. All right, so he'll pop on now. What was the problem, Michael? So, guys, everybody hold up before you go running out to order the Nano S. Michael P. says a problem was announced yesterday. So, I'm going to do a video this week, and then I'm going to give my final stamp of approval to one or two of these wallets. The beauty of this one, well, number one, it's small. They all are. But number two, you can, Bitcoin, Ethereum, I mean, those are completely different blockchain technologies. And some people are probably going, well, why can't I just get like a thumb drive, or an external hard drive and just use that? Because those external drives and thumb drives don't speak cryptography, I guess would be the proper term. In other words, they can't read the code. All right. So it says it's in stock, ships from the U.S., 6 to 10 days. Compact and durable, multi-currency. This is what's important. For you as a owner of the CT Global token, you want to make sure that whatever hardware wallet you get is ERC20 compliant. Okay. I'm going to put that in the chat box too. Hey John, your mic's open.
Oh, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, come ahead. I apologize for the... you sound far away, not like you normally do.
Oh, okay, how about now?
That got better.
Okay.
Are you using a different mic or something today?
No, same. I don't know what's happened. I might have to reboot or something.
Okay. Guys, does John's volume sound just a little bit down today compared to most days? Because you're usually just, loud and clear and perfect.
Yeah.
And we can get, yeah, everybody says it's way down. So I don't know if getting closer to the mic might help, or we'll get through
right
today.
there.
Oh, that sounded, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. we just called this sell-off a while ago. We kind of got the top. We rode this thing up this morning. As a matter of fact, we kind of, there was a pullback last night, and I actually said, we sort of said that we probably go down in the night, and around 5 o'clock in the morning, it'd be a good time to buy, which turned out to be actually more or less the low. And we have ridden a massive rally up. However, I'm quite worried about this market. A little bit less right now because it's trying to turn, but we did get into the VIXs kind of as an insurance, and we might be just selling those right now actually. So because it looks like the market's going to try and stabilize here, but it's pretty risky. The big problem today is the semiconductors are not acting very well. They're negative actually, and the Nasdaq is also negative, which is never a good thing. The Dow and the S&P are holding up, and the mid cap was kind of holding the fort, but they're weakening off. And the VIX, we put out a buy on the VIX at 42, and it's got to 43.40 so far. Keep in mind, if we have any kind of a route like what we already had, the VIXs could go back up to 50 or even higher. So we also sold NVIDIA, believe it or not, this morning at 234.5. It's down to 231 right now. Sold Amazon at the highs, and we put in a sell, kind of across the board sell, right around noon. Actually between 11:30 and noon, as the market was topping out, to capture the highs through time sells, what I call time sells, and most, in other words, anything lower than after noon or something like that, basically PM lows. That's basically captured pretty much everything on the short side. So the VIXs now are looking like they're going to jump higher actually. So this market on your, let's have a look at your
yeah, let me move this out of the way. There we go. Okay, now this is the S&P. Quite the quiet day after some of this volatility that we've seen.
Yeah, you got to be really, really careful here, because this market actually is looking kind of dangerous in my view.
Now,
we ran up to a slightly higher high.
Yeah.
And the problem is Thursday. If we turn down and continue to turn down this afternoon, I mean, it could be a bloodbath. So it's really quite a dangerous situation, right now developing. Especially you've got to be very, very careful of explosive rallies after sell-offs, because they're sort of designed to suck people back in,
Mm-hmm.
And they can actually be very problematical. So look at the VIXs jumping now. They're really kind of moving. So
I don't have access to what happened. I thought I had that. Let me open that chart again.
Yeah, this is a really dangerous market actually. So
yeah, what I want to see if on this chart I can bring up the VIX. So go to charts. Okay. Yeah, and this fellow behind Trading View, he's a really nice fellow. Stan, I spoke with him quite a bit yesterday, and I think he's a little radio shy, but I hope to have him on the show sometime here in the near future. But they've done some sort of groundbreaking work, sort of like what those fellows did with TradeStation back in the day. I mean, he's kind of reinventing the wheel, so to speak. Now, let me get rid of that. Now, tell me what a symbol is for the VIX, please.
VXX.
VXX. See, I can't bring that up on my futures platform, but here, okay. Could you tell which one of these? Got a VXX IDSP and a VXX IDSTR. Okay.
I can't see your chart. For some reason, your window's not coming up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay,
you see
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, what have I got this set on? Let me set it on daily. Let's set it on hourly. I want to see it change so that I know it's. Oh, I guess you. This is kind of odd. You can pop these charts right out. Okay, there's the VIX short term. Okay, that's. Maybe this is only made available with end of day data for that. I mean, I know I have real-time data here on the NYSE. I'll be doing some stock trade alerts here in the coming days, guys. So I don't know, John, is this what you look at? Do you have a price right now of 71.78?
I do. Yeah, that's about right.
All right,
yeah.
so I'm on the,
it's come off a little bit.
I'm on the right thing. And so tell me now, what does this mean, and what action will you take based on this?
Well, look, the danger of this thing is if it goes back higher. Oh, wait a minute. No, you got the wrong thing. That's not the VIX. That's not the one. We're looking at VXX. Just VXX straight.
Well, see, that's just it.
It's a stock. It's a stock. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I have just VXX.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I do. VXX. Okay. Are you showing 47.65? 42.65?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess this is it. Yeah. And even though I'm paying for some real-time data, I guess this isn't part of the real-time data. John, if you'll talk for 1 second, I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, just fill the guys in.
Right now, we're actually short most of the things on the board, including the metals, and the grains we put cells on earlier on. The wheat has been we're still long the wheat, and we're long the corn at the moment. The VIX, we're long the VIXs, and they're jumping dramatically higher right now. So and these markets, look, this is an extremely dangerous situation developing here on these markets. You have to be short and long these VIXs. So I wouldn't be long anything right now. I'd get out of anything that's anything that's not defensive. So we might get a bounce here. It looks like the VIX is.
I'm back. Sorry, I'm really sorry about that.
That's all right. So I think this market got sort of ramped up this morning. Maybe there's some Fed activity or something, and now the bonds are back down again. So the whole thing that kicked this rally off is starting to kick in again, which is a bit of a problem. So I think we're steadying up here right now, but this was a pretty big. Yeah, I think we're going to steady up. So, but we have a very unnerving kind of development here. I mean, we're up 400. We're only up 200 now in the Dow. We were up pretty big on the S&P. We're up 6. Same on the mid caps. So the structure of this is really troubling. The way it's going, because it's the odds of having some sort of a retest of Monday tomorrow is very real, and I think that if we have if we have a bad Thursday, Friday's probably not going to be much better, and so we're going to have a very bad week. And the whole structure of the market doesn't look very good. So, the trouble with something like this happening is it even though it sort of has the market is unbelievably able to, as I've said on this show numerous times, when Trump first started running and then announced his tax cut, that actually was the bottom, and the second bottom was when he won New Hampshire. And really, we've been going up meteorically higher until we go. And the problem with this, call it a mini crash if you like, or whatever you want to call it, sharp correction, is it's possibly a bad omen of something that we don't even know about yet. These things sort of tend to feed it on themselves, and it reminds me that somebody said that we just selling some more here right now. So somebody said we when everything starts, if something goes wrong, when everything goes wrong, everything's going to go wrong, and that's sort of starting to be felt right now. So look at this Nvidia. We sold it at 234.5, and it's down to 228 now. This is really, really bad. And
simple again on Nvidia.
And NVDA. The reason I look at Nvidia is because it's kind of a it's kind of a, what's the word? It's a leading indicator of the market, and it sort of led the market up this morning. It led the market down so far today. Might be getting to a point now where we have a little bit of a bounce. Look
at this. This is a 30-minute chart, John. Got a leg down.
Yeah.
Got a retracement. Boy, this could...
If I'm sounding a bit raspy today, it's because I had a kind of a head cold last night, so I'm not as perky as I was yesterday.
Well, you're on fire most days, so we certainly understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Trump made a comment today. That
actually said this morning that there was a possibility we could come down and test last night's lows. Now, look, if we hold in around here, that would be very good. But the trouble is, you know how human behavior and people get panicky, and you can't imagine what could happen. So it's a very kind of stressful when you see. I don't like the market going down any more than anybody, but I'm glad to be short. That's all I can say right now. So.
Anything else of importance that you want to?
No, I know you got to run. So listen, I just wanted to explain to people, just be very, very careful here, right now, we haven't really seen any power buying in this VIX yet. It might start here. This thing could easily jump a couple of points more, and if it does, the more it jumps, the worse it is for the market. So, and now Nvidia is really falling very rapidly. So, okay, thanks.
All
Thanks,
right, John. Thank you, and we'll spend some time tomorrow and really cover a lot of stuff.
Okay, thanks.
All right, take care. Okay, guys, life happens sometimes, and right now I've got life happening. So everything that we didn't get covered yesterday, God, do you realize how long that show was yesterday? Everything we didn't get covered yesterday and everything we haven't been able to cover today, I'm going to double cover it tomorrow, okay? And I'll even plan to stay an extra hour to make sure we get everything covered and all questions answered. If you have a question, if you have a need, call us, 949-423-6464, 949-423-6464, or toll free, 833. In God we trust. True story. Thanks so much for tuning in today, whoever you are, and wherever you are. May God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.